with Waldorf Essentials. Happy New Year! I want you to be like, this is a year like full of possibilities, and it starts with today. So I was thinking this morning, as I was getting ready, I was thinking about my, I say often, I quote Lucy Montgomery from Anne of Green Gables when she says, like, tomorrow is all fresh with no mistakes in it. Well, guess what? This year, it's all fresh with no mistakes in it right now. Right now it is. And so I want you to think today, what will you do today that will impact the rest of the year? And maybe it's as simple as, a goal that you're going to set today. And I'm not a huge resolutions gal. I mean, I am a huge goal gal, not a huge resolutions gal, because resolutions feel kind of different. Goals feel like something that's attainable. And so when I set myself a goal, I really think about it. I think about what is it that I want to gain from the goal? Is it something that I'll gain, or is it something that'll be like a family gain? Is it, and I look at the whole thing and go, what is it is it just something that I want? Like a material thing, or is it something that I want to experience, or is it, so I look at it from all angles, just because I really want to, if this is something that I really want, like something that I want to either obtain or purchase, then, or change about myself, then it really deserves my attention to really look at it and examine it and sort of look at where my big feelings are about it, where they're coming from. So when I set out a goal, those are the things that I do, and I really look at, okay, so what steps do I have to do to get me there? Because it's just a dream if you don't put it down on paper or put it down on the computer, or whatever it is that you do for your process. It's just a dream otherwise if you don't put it down and actually make actionable steps to get there. And so I'm going to challenge you for that today, even if it's just one thing. Good morning, Jill. Happy New Year. Even if it's just one thing. And good morning, Lewis. I see you there too. But even if it's just one thing that you pick that you want to do for the year, and you're going to start, maybe it's, maybe it's getting up before your kids. Maybe it's getting into bed at a good time tonight. Maybe it's wrangling bedtime with your kids, finally. Getting a bedtime in a good, healthy place. Maybe it's spending today getting your house clean so that your house feels good for the rest of the week and for the rest of the year. So pick one thing today. Or pick three things. If you're in that space to be able to pick 3 things or 5 things. But really, if you're not, start with just one. Start with one thing. And that one thing, decide today that that's going to be your one thing. I was having this list in my head last night of things. For me, I am really, really, really trying to master German. And it is nicht sehr gut a lot of days. And so, but that is because I don't practice every single day. So that's not a resolution per se. My goal for the end of the year is to have for the end of 2018, is to be done with the Duolingo German and really be able to hold a conversation with my dear friend Michaela in German, and not feel like I'm, falling down, or I have to grab my Google Translate. And so, that's my goal. And in order to get to that goal, I have, things I have to do to get to that goal. So, I have to plan that out. That means I have to do something about that really every single day. That means that my Duolingo streak has to be every single day. It has to be 365 days at the end of the year. And I did so good, man. I had a 180-day streak going, and then I got sick. And then it was easy to go, screw it. I already missed. I had 180 days going, and then I got sick. So my goal is to not go to that place. So look at simple goals. Simple goals often build bigger ones. So, when I think about things that I want to accomplish for the year, again, it's not a resolution. It's a goal. It's a goal for maybe as I put it down and I put action steps to it. Good morning, Amanda. Happy New Year to you too. So think about that today. Some people might be in a little party hangover from last night. I can relate. Only in that I stayed up way too late. And so I'm going to be heading back to have a little nap at some point today, but not before I have a plan for the day. Because I know that if I don't have a plan, that pretty soon it'll be 4 o'clock and I'll be like, crap, where the heck did the day go? So, I'm going to make a plan. So, what plan do you have for today? Have you decided where that's going to go today? How you're going to make the use of this very first day of the year? You decided what it is that you and your family, or even just you, what rituals you can put in place for yourself. I really want you to think about for this year, if you're not already, really think about your personal rhythm, something that you're doing in the morning for you and something you're doing in the evening for you. Because remember, at the end of the day, regardless of, whether you are a stay-at-home homeschooling mom that, follows Waldorf Essentials in that capacity, or maybe you're somebody that follows me and you don't stay at home, regardless of who you are, you deserve to remember who you are at your core, and that doesn't often have a whole lot to do with the rest of your day. It's about you checking in with you first thing in the day, and you checking in with you again at the end of the day. And that's a really big piece of inner work and rhythm about just like what are your own personal rhythms? What things do you need to put into place for yourself? Like I said, for me, one of those pieces is I know I need to do my German lesson in the morning, because if I wait and do it until I get ready for bed, I'm not in a great place, because usually I'm tired and I don't do very well and I don't retain it as much. So I know that about myself. I know that there has to be in that morning ritual of mine to spend that 20 minutes to do my German lesson and really feel good about myself. There's other habits too, definitely. I do Pilates twice a week and I absolutely love it. And when I don't go, I had a stroke a few years ago. When I don't go, my joints hurt really bad, and so it's been really good for that. So another one of my goals this year is to not miss a day of Pilates. So like, how do I do that? Well, I gotta make sure that I always have the money to to put that first, to put that ahead of maybe something else that's frivolous in our budget, because that I need to have for my own personal health. Other things that I do for myself, I get a haircut every 2 weeks. And people might go, oh, well, your hair's so short. Well, that's why. I like it short. I like to keep it short. Feels comfortable that way. And when I go every 2 weeks, it doesn't cost as much as if I go every 6 weeks. And so, I look at all of the big picture. So what my goals are and what my own personal rhythm is. So if you haven't done those things for yourself, if you've gotten caught up in just being, oh, I'm just a mom, I'm in management mode, I'm not thinking about anybody's needs, or not thinking about my own needs, just thinking about everybody else, I want you to spend today thinking about your own stuff. The goal that I want you to set shouldn't be, now, granted, you can have family goals for sure, but this goal that I want you to set today should be about you. It should be about you. And even if it's like one of the things on my list, like seriously, in my habits, in my journal, one of the things is knitting every day. Because when I knit every day, I feel really good. It centers me, it grounds me, it reminds me of the things that I do that I love. And so think about that. Think about that when you're working on that one goal piece that's for you today. And like I said, maybe you'll be able to come up with 5 that you'll be able to do every day and make daily habits that you're at least working towards. But even if you can just do one is what I want you to focus on. If more than one overwhelms you, if one overwhelms you, I want you to go, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to think about what one thing I could do for me today. What one thing for the rest of the year that I can really focus on for me. So think about that today. Also, obviously we're starting back to school this week. So if you're homeschooling, I want you to be able to be excited about getting back to school. So like for me, one of the things that's on my to-do list today is to, make sure that our lessons are in order for the rest of the week. That's something that I usually do on Sunday, but we sort of had an extra family fun day yesterday. So that's on my plate today because it needs to be done. And so I'll be looking at that. We're embarking on some new things with our 6-year-old. And so, I want to make sure that we've got some things in place for all of those things in place. And so today's kind of my day to do that. And it's a good thing that today a lot of things are closed. So I have to stay home and I have to sort of do that regrouping, because otherwise I might be like, hey, let's go do this. So it's kind of a good thing. This is regrouping day. So I'm also going to clean my house today. And I really realize I have a much smaller house than a lot of people, so it's not going to take me very long. But it was really funny when Sam went to bed last night. I was talking about our word of the year, and he goes, "Ooh, is that like the word of the day?" Because we always sort of tease the word of the day is, like for my 20-year-old, sometimes it's the word of the day is job, and it's not now because he has a good job, but you know, sometimes we tease about that. And so he says to me last night, Sam says, "So I think the word of tomorrow is clean because this house is filthy." I said, "Oh yes, it is. Thank you for noticing, because that means you're going to be right on that cleaning team with me." And so that's what the main goal of today is, to clean up, and so that we feel good about the rest of the week and everything that's coming, and can sort of look at the day in a wonderful way. And we'll do something like go on a nice walk and enjoy the beach again today. I know that we were saying goodbye to the last low tide of the year. We had so much fun when we go to the tide pools, and so that was a fun way for us to, you know, sort of send off the year, and came home and made a nice, amazing dinner. If you do not own an Instant Pot, I am telling you, you need to acquire one. And I made the most amazing pot roast last night. Holy cow. Anyway, just little tidbits about my life that you might not want to know. But, so no, today, one of the things that we'll do, we'll get our house all clean and spick and span, and then we'll probably go for a nice long walk along the beach. So I love to collect seashells. We did bring home some critters last night that will need to be re-released today. We do that every now and again so that they can look at things up close, and we're really super careful, and we sort of have some budding marine biologists in our house, and so it's kind of fun to do that. But so we'll be returning some friends. I don't know if you saw my post. We have named the hermit crabs Fred and Barney, and so I named one Steve. And so Fred, Barney, and Steve will go back to the tide pools today, and we probably won't bring home any more critters for a little while. They like to do that. They would love to do that all the time, but see, I'm the one who has to be responsible for them. And so I really only want to do that when I'm ready to be responsible for them for a day or so. So anyway, we'll be doing that today, going on a nice walk. So what will you do today? What will you do? I hope you will tell me in the comments of the video. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to tell me in the comments too. What is it that you did on January 1st that really set the tone for your year? There's energy that comes with it. It's good energy. So I'm hoping that you are feeling that today. And if you're not, if you're kind of in a down place, or maybe you're sick and can't do a whole lot, do what you can. Like I said, pick one thing. Just pick one thing. And even if you're looking around, maybe you're sick and your house is a mess and you just can't do anything about it. You know what, honey? I am so sorry. I wish I could come and hug you and help you clean up. Do pick the one thing, and then work to get over it. And maybe that one thing is getting over your sickness and moving forward with that. I had this nasty cold a few weeks ago. I thought it was never going to end. And finally it did. And I mean, that's really the good thing about colds. They usually go away. So just definitely think about how you can feel better in the year. So let's see. Jill says, deep cleaning and organizing. Little houses and winter gear are not a good combo. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you know, when we lived in cold places, we always had bigger houses. And it's because there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. There's a lot of stuff living by the beach. There's like, you should see my porch. That's another thing we're cleaning today. Because I was looking at my porch going, what the heck? Who lives here? A bunch of teenagers that just surf all day? So I got to clean it up because it's a big mess, but it's the same. It's gear. And we have a small space and don't have a lot of space for gear. So IKEA is probably on my shopping list this week. Yeah, just because they're cheap. That one goal will help you become an agent. Just this one. But again, if you can do more, do more. If you want to tell us about them, I'd love to hear about your goals. Again, resolutions are different. You know, people will set up resolutions and they'll just be like, you know, oh, I want to, like a silly one for me. I want to not swear. Dang it, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Usually really good, but sometimes my mouth just flies and it's not okay. And that's right, we'll say, Mom, say pizza instead. So, on that note, oh my pizza, let's have a good year. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. It's an 18 thing, and let's have a good time with it. Let's find things that we love about it, because it's brand new, all fresh with no mistakes in it. So be an agent, come up with your one thing, and enjoy your day. Bye now. Happy New Year.